Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great. My name is Maxime, I'm a developer advocate here at Ripple, and today I'm going to guide you through our amazing XRPL ecosystem. The XRP ledger is an open source layer 1 blockchain. It's fully decentralized, there are many libraries for coding, it's safe, it has a low carbon footprint and a short transaction finality time. Some of the specificities of the XRPL. It's a POA, proof of authority consensus. There are no mining or smart contracts. It has an account results features, meaning in order for an account to be activated on the XRPL, it has to have a balance of at least 1 XRP. We have a unified DEX and EMN directly on-chain, and there's one single API to be hit in order to perform a lot of actions. As I said, one single API to do basically everything. Payments, issue NFT, monetary emission, issue, transfer real-world assets or stablecoins, perform some account management, interact with the EMM, the central limit order book, the DEX, issue TID, credentials, a lot of things with just one single API. Instead, we have various native features to basically do a lot of things directly on-chain, such as issuing assets, NFTs, do some advanced payments workflow using escrow, checks, without the need of smart contracts, or basically you can also manage liquidity and perform swaps using the DEX or the automated market maker, the EMM. Cool thing is that the XRPL is an ecosystem in constant evolution. In our pipeline right now, we have a bunch of new amendments. Amendments are new features coming on the XRPL. For example, we have the batch transactions. It allows multiple transactions to be bundled into a batch and that processed all together within just one single transaction. We have the MPT tokens. It's basically a new type of fungible tokens, and it's optimized for new use cases such as lending, borrowing. We also have like the token escrow, which is a new escrow model where you can lock other tokens than traditionally XRP, such as IOU or the new MPT token. We also have in development right now the Smart Escrow. It's a programmable escrow that uses a custom WASM code and to bring maybe some programmability on-chain. So this is still at the development phase, and you can check this directly on the GitHub of the XRPL Foundation to learn more about this new initiative and also to contribute to it if you want. We also have the lending and borrowing protocol that should come and be live by the end of the year. It will unlock like a lot of new native features on chain with like the single vol assets and the APTs and the lending and borrowing protocol as itself. Now let's talk about the XRPL extended ecosystem. We have a lot of various chains connected to the XRPL mainnet through a bridge. We have, for example, the root network. We have XAO, which is a chain with the hooks feature. We have Evernode. We have now the new XRPL EVM sidechain, which is a chain supporting smart contracts using Solidity. And this is powered by Persist and also Accelor that acts as a liquidity network and liquidity bridge and allows you to basically tap into the liquidity of dozens of chains and bring this to the XRPL mainnet and vice versa. Now let's dive into some code examples. To interact with XRPL, we have many clients libraries available for you. Basically, a client library is a language-specific package that provides pre-built methods and type models to simply interact with or single API. To interact with the XRPL, many client libraries are available. For example, we have one package, which is the xrpl.js package that supports JavaScript and TypeScript, and also the Python XRPL Python package for Python. If you want to use, for example, Java, Go, or Rust, we also have like some packages available. I would recommend you to leverage the JavaScript and Python one because they are the most up-to-date. Now about the general process to interact with the XRPL. It's kind of easy. First, you need to connect to a node. Then you create, generate, or import a wallet. You prepare and submit your transaction, and then you wait and get the result. First, you connect to a node. You import the client object from the XRPL, and you create this new object passing like the RPC URL, and then you connect the client. Secondly, you create a wallet using which is fund wallet. The cool thing with this fund wallet method is that it's gonna generate you a new wallet and also fund the wallet with some test XRP tokens. It's only obviously available on testnets because, like as I said, it funds your wallet with some test XRP. Otherwise, I think it's like just generate wallets or create wallet method for mainnets. Then you prepare and send the transaction. So here you see you have to create a payment object. You specify the transaction type. Here you want to do a payment, so you just write payment. You specify the account sending basically this transaction, which is the wallet that you created previously. You pass the destination address and the amount of XRP here that you want to send to this destination address. The amount of XRP needs to be specified into drops, which is basically a smaller unit to define XRP. Then you use the method submit and wait. You pass the transaction. You put autofill as true, meaning that the other field will be automatically filled, and the wallet that's gonna sign the transaction. Then you wait and you get the result. And here you can, so it's a JSON format, and you can access all choose data directly from the result. And what that really matters is the transaction result, I will say. You want to have a test success, which basically tells you that everything worked perfectly fine. And then in your app, you can leverage this result to perform like some actions on the user end. The entire code is pretty concise, and you see it's really not difficult to interact with XRPL. And if you want more like code examples, I will encourage you to take a look at the XRPL documentation on xrpl.org or directly on GitHub, and I'm gonna share with you the links later. Now, I would like to take some time to talk about a really important and central topic on the XRPL, which are Trustlines. To summarize the concept, on the XRPL, you can't hold a token that you don't want to hold. And in order to hold like a new token, you first need to send a trust set transaction on the XRPL, and that you are basically telling to the network that, hey, I trust this token coming from this issuer, and I agree to receive in the future up to a certain amount of that token. And once this trust line is enabled and that you agree to receive a certain token coming from a certain issuer, then this issuer or someone else holding this token will be able to send you this desired token. You will be also able to get this token from the DEX or the AMM, but before like doing and performing any kind of action with a token that is not like the native XRP on the XRPL, you should first pass a trust line. And this is basically to prevent you or anyone else to hold a token that you don't desire, basically. The process to interact with Trustline is really easy. So first, you tell the network that you trust an issuer. Then you can get the tokens from the DEX, the MM, from someone else, or the issuer itself. And then you can send the tokens to others only if they also have the trust line enabled for this issuer and this token. And you can remove the trust when it's done. So when you don't want to hold like this token anymore or to receive in the future. And you can also provide liquidity on the DEX or the MM. To interact with Trustline, the process is kind of similar as when you wanted to perform like a payment, if you remember. So here the transaction type is a trust set, so because now you are setting a trust line. You specify your account. You specify a new field, which is the limit amount, and here you have like the currency, the token code, which is basically the code for the token you want to hold. You specify the issuer of the token and the value, so you agree here to receive up to 500 million of that token. You also can specify some flags, and then same process as before, you autofile the transaction, you sign it, you submit, and wait for the transaction to be accepted on the network. Now, some of you may want to play with RLUSD, and so here I'm pleased to refer you to the Try RLUSD platform, which is a faucet that I created for you in order to get some RLUSD on testnets. And to interact with the faucet, you need to have the Crossmark web browser wallet installed on your browser, and you can find all the details on crossmark.io. If you want to get access to more resources, you can take a look at the link tree that I created. Basically here you will find all the necessary information to get you started on the XRPL, documentations, grants, accelerator, funding programs, opportunities, code snippets to interact with the ledger. What else do we have? Some tooling, some community resources, everything. Also, I would like to encourage you to contribute to the XRPL development. You can, for example, take a look at the XRPLF, so the XRPL Foundation GitHub organization, where you will find the new amendments coming on. You can contribute to it. You can open an issue, a PR, whatever. Please feel free to contribute to the development of this amazing ledger. For example, is a GitHub repo that I created where you will be able to find a bunch of Python and JavaScript scripts to interact with the ledger. An important thing to keep in mind is that we have 3 different networks on the XRPL. We have the DevNet, which is basically a sandbox environment where you're going to find new amendments that are not ready or live on mainnet. You have the mainnet, which is basically the main network with real XRP, and you have the testnet, which is a replicate of the mainnet. So if you want to play with the new amendment that is not yet live on mainnet or testnet, you have to go for the devnet. So let's take the example as of today. If you want to play with MPT or token escrow, for example, it's only available on devnet. So please go into the devnet folder, and here you'll be able to find like some pre-made scripts to interact with. So all the documentation can be found directly into the code or the README, or also on the xrpl.org documentation. If you want to find more information about a specific XLS, so an amendment, please go directly into the XLS specification on the GitHub of the XRPLF. And as I said here, we also have like the XRPL RLUSD faucet. To interact with it, you need to have a GitHub account, and you need to sign in with your GitHub account. Then you will be able like to claim some RLUSD on Ethereum Sepolia or XRPL testnets. So you have to connect with Crossmark first. And once you are connected with Crossmark, if it's the first time you use the faucet or the first time you interact with RLUSD, you will have obviously to pass a trust line. So you will have a button like pass trust line, and then you will be able like to claim 10 RLUSD per wallet and GitHub account per day. So for example, here I'm claiming some RLUSD. Awesome, I just got like 10 RLUSD, and I'm able to see the transaction directly on chain. like this here. Also, I would recommend you, if you want to have a good explorer, go on testnet.xrpl.org or devnet or mainnet. This is the explorer that we are maintaining, and you will find everything from basic transaction to NFT or like more custom XRPL interactions. Now that you have also XRP but RLUSD, you can do some cool things with it. You can, for example, swap it. So first you need to connect your Crossmark wallet, and then here you can, for example, provide some liquidity. So the thing is that this pool is kind of empty, so the ratio doesn't like really represent what's going on mainnet now. So you can like put some XRP and RLUSD, and you can you put one or the other, because here we are doing a swap. For example, here I'm swapping 100 XRP for some RLUSD. Let's wait for the transaction to settle. All good, and I can take a look at it on the Explorer once again. Here you see that I did a swap, and you can go into the details of the raw transaction if you want to have more details about what's going on under the hood. Now, imagine you want to provide some liquidity. You connect your Crossmark wallet once again. And here, for example, you will be able like to provide some liquidity on the XRP RLUSD EMM pair. And you can see some of the details about what you're gonna get once you deposit like 100 XRP for that amount of RLUSD. This ratio is automatically calculated based on the existing ratio in the pool. And then you will get like some LP tokens back that represent your share within the pool. Okay, I got some liquidity, and here I can see like the actual LP tokens that I have, and I can withdraw liquidity, and also I'm earning some fees on all the swaps that are done on this EMM pool. So to summarize, if you want to find like resources about the XRPL and help you like navigating through your developer journey, please go to the link tree that I presented earlier. Here you will find all the documentation about, for example, the XRPL, RLUSD, also the XRPL EVM sidechain, and our current funding programs and builder resources. Here you can find the GitHub that I showed you previously. And also, if you want to play a little bit with XRP EVM sidechain, I prepared like some hard hats Solidity templates. And basically that's it. And obviously, it is the main place you should head to if you want to find some information about the XRPL. It's xrpl.org. You will learn about a lot about the XRPL on this website. You have the docs, a lot of resources. You can also take a look at what the community is doing. That's it for this presentation. Thank you very much, and I'm wishing you a good developer journey. See you soon.